Mothballs. "Is there something wrong with your drink?" asked Miss Ellington as Oscar stared into his hot chocolate on her kitchen table. "No," said Oscar, "it's fine." And yes, if you left out the fact that Miss Ellington had made it from a 6-year-old can of discount instant hot chocolate powder mixed up in warm water from the faucet, Oscar wouldn't even have been lying. Theoretically, the hot chocolate should have been just fine. The marshmallows were the problem. They lurked in the shadows of Miss Ellington's pantry month after month, year after year, dehydrated to a hardness exceeding that of mastodon bones by the air of Miss Ellington's house, which reeked of mothballs and made everything else in her house reek of mothballs too. Gah! "Way back in the dark ages, when I was a girl," declared Miss Ellington, "my friends and I always said the best thing on a hot day is a hot drink." Oscar nodded. Over the years, he'd heard a lot of bizarre things Miss Ellington and her friends used to say to each other. He glanced at the thermometer screwed to the back porch railing, which read 92. He brought his mothball-flavored hot chocolate to his lips. "You've got a big game tonight," Miss Ellington observed. Oscar lowered the mug. "Against the Yankees. The first game of the Slugger League Championship Series." "When you go to bat, keep your eyes on the ball," said Miss Ellington. "You told me that outside," Oscar reminded her. "I'm telling you again," said Miss Ellington. "The coach won't put me in," sighed Oscar. I appreciate the vote of confidence, but I'm not going to get up to bat." "The coach might put you in. You might get to bat," insisted Miss Ellington. "You never know." "I guess you're right," said Oscar. "I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I won't get to bat." "You're a good kid, Oscar," said Miss Ellington. "You'll make your mark on the universe one way or the other." "Thanks, Miss Ellington," said Oscar. "I've got some cookies in my cupboard," continued Miss Ellington, pushing aside a crab hammer and a bottle of Lysol as she searched. "Somewhere." "Yummy," said Oscar, wincing at the thought of their inevitable mothball flavor. At that moment, a powerful engine rumbled along the street outside. It shook Miss Ellington's windows. She stopped searching and glanced around uneasily. Oscar looked around too. He noticed for the first time that something was different about Miss Ellington's house that morning. A garden trowel lay on the kitchen sink. Muddy boots leaned in the corner. Leaves littered the floor. Mail lay scattered across one end of the kitchen table, as if she'd begun reading it but never finished. And that was the strangest part. Miss Ellington had a very precise system for mail. She wrote letters to her friends every week, using the stationery, pens, stamps, and wax seal in the roll-top desk in her office. She put the letters in the basket of her giant tricycle, the same one she used for tomatoes, pedaled them to the post office, mailed them, and checked her box for replies. And once in a while, when Miss Ellington felt too tired to make the trip, Oscar made it for her, although he rode his own bicycle. He liked starting Miss Ellington's letters on their journeys, picking up stamps at the post office for future letters, and bringing back answers from her friends. He liked reading the names and addresses on the envelopes and imagining the people and places. Norman Plimer, Northfield, Minnesota. Hugsy Strathmore, Little Rock, Arkansas. Dinky Hanrahan, Los Angeles, California. And once in a while, over stale cupcakes or a slice of pie that tasted faintly of cleaning supplies, Miss Ellington told him things about her friends. For instance, Sheila Flaherty of Seattle, Washington, had a great-grandson the same age as Oscar, who was a Little League all-star shortstop. Lately, though, Oscar realized Miss Ellington didn't mail as many letters as she had when he was younger. Oscar glimpsed something glinting among the envelopes. "What's this?" he asked, reaching across the table to retrieve a giant gold pocket watch. Its face glowed a faint green in the dim kitchen. "Heavens to Betsy, put that down!" cried Miss Ellington. She rushed over faster than Oscar had ever seen her move, and he'd seen her move plenty fast, especially when raccoons threatened her tomatoes. She snatched the watch from his hands. "Sorry, Miss Ellington," said Oscar. "It was just glowing a little." "I was contemplating the vicissitudes of time, murmured Miss Ellington, burying the watch in her pocket and gazing thoughtfully at a slit-open package on the table. Okay, sure, right, said Oscar. The vicissitudes of time, that makes sense, I guess. A lot of people contemplate the vicissitudes of time. I might even do it myself once in a while. By the way, what's a vicissitude? An unforeseen change, said Miss Ellington, pulling the watch from her pocket. She seemed to forget about Oscar as she studied the old watch, and in the expanding silence he blew on his hot chocolate, kicking up a cloud of mothball-scented steam. He sneezed. Are you all right, Miss Ellington? Asked Oscar. I will be, Oscar, said Miss Ellington quietly. Thank you for asking. Outside, the sound of the heavy engine returned. It idled for a moment in front of Miss Ellington's house and rumbled into silence. Then a car door slammed. Heavy footfalls thudded up Miss Ellington's walk. A knock thundered against her door. Miss Ellington tottered down the wooden hallway to peek through the lace curtains in the window. Oscar, she said, turning back quickly. Actually, I would like you to have this watch. She pitched it to him. Usually, when people threw things at Oscar, his brain short-circuited and he dropped them. But the toss took him by surprise. He didn't have time to think, so he caught it. The banging on the door continued. But you just told me not to touch it, Oscar pointed out. But now I'm telling you to take it, said Miss Ellington. But, began Oscar. Just take the watch and vamoose, hissed Miss Ellington, through the back door. Consider it a token of appreciation for helping in my garden. I don't have to finish the hot chocolate? Asked Oscar. No, whispered Miss Ellington. All right, said Oscar on behalf of his taste buds. As he made his way down the back steps, he happened to peek over his shoulder, down the hallway, as Miss Ellington opened her door to reveal two men wearing black suits. One was as big as a restaurant refrigerator, the other sized like a fifth grader. A colossal black car gleamed behind them at the curb. The sight of them made him shiver, and he paused. But behind her back, Miss Ellington shooed him with her left hand, as if, whatever was about to happen, she wanted him and the watch to play no part.